Europe, languishing in the Dark Ages for 1,000 years, is about to change. And with it, so is the rest of the world. New empires will be built. Old worlds will be destroyed. Create new alliances. Exploit new opportunities. Explore uncharted territories. Stake your claim to new lands and open trade routes to untold riches. Negotiate from strength. And when diplomacy fails, be prepared to fight for what is yours. Choose your closest advisors skillfully. Implement your strategic conquests. How will you secure your empire and leave your mark on history?
Well, that's the question. Europa Universalis III, a very addictive, unique empire managing game where you lead your empire from the start of the Renaissance era till the end of Napoleon. That is, if you install both expansions. Now, what do people think when they first see this game? Boring? Well, that's just judging by appearance. The beauty of this game lies in the core, in its gameplay, and not the graphics that makes the game interesting. After this review, you will be able to determine yourself if the game is as boring as it looks, or the game is well worth playing. The game has only one game mode, and that's campaign. At the screen to start a campaign, you're able to choose between several periods. Well, actually not only periods, you can choose any date between 1399 and 1821. Even though you can choose any date to start your campaign, the game provides you with the best dates to start with. You can choose to start at the fall of Byzantium or fight in the American War of Independence. There are in total 313 factions to play with, and you can play actually any faction in the world. However, not every faction gives a different gameplay experience. For example, playing like small factions in the Holy Roman Empire feels a bit the same. Still, if you play, the outcome of each game will be very different. The game is meant to be played as one of the big European factions, but you're still able to choose to play every faction on the map. The game is very detailed, far too detailed to explain everything in this 10 minutes review, so I will just discuss the most important points. The stability of your nation is very important, if not the most important factor of this game. Stability is determined from -3 to +3. If you have a stability of -3 and you have a big empire, then, well, you are pretty much doomed, because rebels will start to pop up everywhere, your income will be cut, and after a while, when they see you're struggling, other factions will declare war on you to finish you off, which can be pretty annoying if you have put all this time in building your empire. But most of the stability drops are your own fault. Stability can decrease by attacking other factions without having a casus belli, and making stability decreasing decisions on the many in-game pop-up messages, and doing something that makes your people lose faith in you. You can increase your stability by investing money in it. The more money you spend on your stability, the faster your empire will be more stable, but the less of this money you can invest in technological progress, structures and military. Another very detailed factor in the game is diplomacy. You can request military access, give money, form alliances or declare war. Every nation has a relation of -200 to 200 with you. You can increase your relations by doing favorable things for other factions, like giving them gifts or make beneficial deals. Your relations will decrease by doing harm to a faction or by having a bad reputation. You'll probably spend most of your time fighting wars. You can play and expand peacefully, but that tends to get rather boring. The degree of you winning a war depends on how many battles you won and how many territories you occupied. It is displayed as a percentage in the right down corner of the game. Once this percentage is high enough, you will be able to make a peace deal and force your opponent to give you money, regions, or become your vassal. During a war, you can only occupy provinces. They will not become a part of your empire until the enemy nation has accepted its defeat and gives the provinces to you. After you made a peace deal, there is a truce that you won't attack the other factions for 5 years, meaning you can't continuously attack the same faction without suffering a major stability drop. You can't fight battles yourself like in the Total War games. They are determined with a dice rolling system, which may seem kinda awkward and look more like Risk. The higher the dice roll, the more casualties you'll inflict. This number of casualties is dependent on the largeness of both armies. There are several factors that increase your dice roll though. Fighting in hill territory or near a river will decrease the power of the attacking army, while good generals, morale and technological superiority will increase the power of your army. The game keeps you entertained with several historical events. At the end of the 15th century till the end of the game, you'll slowly discover more and more of the world, giving you a chance to escape Europe and colonize faraway places. Pirates will start popping up in the 16th century, blockading docks, which will force you to create a strong navy. Another event in the 16th century is the spread of the Protestant and Reformed religion across Europe. You'll have to deal with religious zealots trying to spread their religion by force, and sometimes even have to change your state religion to one of these heretical beliefs. In the 18th century you will see an increase in nationalism and revolutionaries in your lands, such as colonial separatists like USA, Canada and Venezuela, who want to be freed from their European motherland. These events give you a change to the continuous, maybe sometimes repetitive, warfaring, economy and diplomacy improving you're doing the 400 years you play. Having said all this, I haven't even explained half what this game is about at all, like national ideas that can help you forge your faction into the nation you desire, your servants who will help you preserving and expanding your empire, economy with sense of trade and monopolies, different map views, the Holy Roman Empire, the papacy, crusades and much more. The game also has a multiplayer mode. Here each player can choose a faction and play just like the single player campaign. Playing co-op with friends is fun and makes the campaign a lot easier knowing that some of your neighbors have your back. Europa Universalis III is a great strategy game with much realism, but not so realistic that it would get boring. The game does have a very slow pace. It will take several hours to finish a campaign, even when you play on max speed. My average campaign takes usually longer than a day. Still, you can save the game whenever you like, making it optional to play 1 hour a day. It's a shame the battles aren't playable and the graphics aren't up to date. Still, this is the most detailed strategy game I've ever played. It's not a mindless first-person shooter or a strategy game with stupid AI. It's a game where you have to think over every action you make, because every action has an effect on you and on other nations. This is the end of my review. If you didn't fully understand everything I said, the full written review can be found on dateyourgame.com, and if you have more questions, feel free to ask them.